Hello there, my beautiful friends. So we are going to be swatching every single product that I own from Enchanted Lustre Cosmetics today, which is one of my absolute favorite indie brands. They make some of my absolute favorite eyeshadows in the entire world. So if you are interested in seeing these swatches and seeing what Enchanted Lustre is all about, then go ahead and keep on watching and let's jump right on in. So just a little bit of background information about Enchanted Lustre Cosmetics. They are a brand that is based out of Melbourne, Australia, and they are cruelty-free. The owner's name is Ritu. She is a sweetheart. I would say that the brand is most well known for their unique formulas. You'll see that here today. They have some really interesting and one-of-a-kind eyeshadow formulas that you really can't find anywhere else. They also have a beautiful color range to choose from. They have really interesting duochromes. They just have a very unique kind of look and feel to them. So the first formula of eyeshadows, and the most interesting in my personal opinion from the brand, is called the Prisms. Now these can be used as a glitter multi-chrome wet looking highlighter. Obviously they can be used as eyeshadow, which is what I primarily use them for. You can use them as an inner corner highlighter for eyes, you can use them as a lip topper, and of course an eyeshadow topper as well. As I said, I typically use these just as eyeshadow. Now I definitely use these with a glitter glue 100% of the time. They are a little bit flakier in formulation, they're a little bit chunkier, they're a little bit more thick when you put your finger into them, but the overall payoff and shine that you get from these eyeshadows is unlike anything I've ever seen from any brand ever. They have a really unique formula that I really haven't seen anywhere else. I would definitely use your finger when applying these. They do pick up with a brush, but they're just gonna apply the best with a finger, and once you get them on the eyes, they shine to the moon and back. They are absolutely stunning. But getting started with the first prism that I have to show you guys, this is the shade Mystic Prism, which is a teal, pink, and blue shifting shade. Now as you can see here in the pan, it primarily looks blue, but once you see the swatch, you're going to see a little bit of the pink and the teal as well, and you almost get a little bit of a gold reflect going on underneath. This is probably the most shiny out of all of the prisms that I have. This would be the most beautiful inner corner highlight. If you are into a super bright inner corner, this is your guy. This is also super gorgeous over any eyeshadow. All of the prisms are a little bit more sheer, but you can definitely build them up on the eyes. You just need a little bit of finessing to build them up. You kind of need to just work in small increments and apply a little bit at a time, and if you do that, you are going to get the most gorgeous effect on your eyeballs you've ever freaking seen. These are absolutely stunning. As you can see, like, look at that swatch. Look at the way that reflects the light. They're super shiny, beautiful, and amazing. Now the next prism here is called Celestial Prism. This is my absolute favorite one out of the bunch. I own 2 pans of this. I might even add another pan on someday in the future just because I'm absolutely insane and I love it so much. But this is described as a peach purple and golden shifting shade. This is just absolute perfection. For a while she didn't have any pinky toned kind of shades in her prism line, and I was so excited to see her incorporate this into her collection. I do believe that Celestial Prism is a limited edition color, so if you are interested in pink eyeshadow even in the slightest, this is definitely one that I would say go for it, add it to your collection. You will use it nonstop and you will absolutely love it because I use it nonstop. It is one of my absolute favorite pink shades that I own in my entire collection in the entire world. It is so stunning, super shiny, and it is just the most perfect bubblegummy pink you'll ever see. But next up here we have the shade Amethyst, which is a fluorescent purple base with a duochrome orange and pink shift. Now the camera definitely washes this shade out a little bit. I don't know why. I don't understand the basics of cameras here, but for some reason this looks much more periwinkle than it does in real life. In real life, the shade looks much more pinky purple, a little bit more lilac-y. As you can see in the swatch there, you can really see that kind of pink shift, and you get a little hint of the orange at the end. This is one of my favorites from her as well, obviously. I mean, we all know that I love these shades, and look how shiny this shade is. It goes onto the eyes really smoothly as well, and this is one of my absolute favorite purples that I have in my collection yet again. The next shade is called Hyper Prism, and this is an orange to pink, but to me it looks more like a burgundy that has a little bit of kind of a pinky undertone, but it also has a bit of that berry undertone as well, and you'll see that in the swatches. As you can see, it's a little bit deeper than the other two that I showed. Okay, not a little bit, it's a lot of bit deeper. This is much deeper in tone. You can really see how these can be used as toppers here in the swatch. As you can see, I built this up with about 2 layers or so, and it still is a little bit sheer, but it just gives such a beautiful wet looking effect on the eyes, and it just gives you a hint of that berry and pink and orange. It is so gorgeous. It just is a touch more sheer than the other two that I've shown. Now, the final prism that I have, unfortunately, I wish I had more, is called Soul Prism. I've shown this here on my channel before, and you guys, those of you who watch the videos seem to be mesmerized by this. This is a green, blue, and purple shifting shade. To me, this is kind of reminiscent of MAC's Blue Brown, but just turned up like 10 notches. It is super shiny, super reflective. You can really see that teal kind of shine when you actually put it on your eyes. You do get a bit of the green as well, but I would say that the tealish blue shade and the purple come through more than the green. And MAC's Blue Brown is a shade we've all seen before. It's nothing new, but Soul Prism just has this really bright reflectiveness to it, and that teal undertone really shines through, and it just really sets it apart from the other shades that we've seen that kind of look similar to this. This would be the best blue brownish shade that I've ever seen out of any makeup collection ever, point blank. I don't think I need to say anything more. You see it with your own two eyeballs there. It is absolutely beautiful. Now we're moving into the highlighters that I have from her collection, and the first highlighter that I have here is called Cotton Candy, which is a really cute name. I love me some cotton candy, but this is an iridescent pink glow. Now for me, this is a little bit too deep to use as a highlighter. This is more of an eyeshadow for me, and I am a-okay with that because I love me some cool toned pinks. This would be an absolutely beautiful highlight on you if you have deep or even deep dark skin and you want a pink highlighter. This is your guy. Try it out. I guarantee you will love it. I use it as an eyeshadow because it is too deep for me, but I think I'm going to try using it as a blush because I think it would be a really beautiful blush topper for someone who's my skin tone. So this next highlighter here I'm a little bit confused about because it doesn't have a tag on the back of it telling me what the color is, and I ordered the shade Elixir of Life, which is a soft golden eyeshadow with a touch of pink. I think that this is just a very large pan of it. I'm not 100% sure. Ritu, if you're watching this, please let me know. Does this look like Elixir of Life? Nonetheless, it is absolutely stunning, and I think it's beautiful as an inner corner highlight. This is my kind of inner corner highlight. You know me, I love me some iridescent gold, and to me this fits the description of Elixir of Life. I'm just very confused about why it's such a giant pan, but I'm not complaining, of course. Why would I ever complain about getting an extra large pan of eyeshadow when I ordered a small one? Now we have the first and only glitter, unfortunately, that I have from Enchanted Lustre Cosmetics. This is the shade Love Potion, and this is a hot pink with green, blue, and pink shimmers running throughout it. This is my ideal glitter shade here. You know I love me some hot pink, but what I really like about this formula is that you really don't need to use a glitter glue with these. I would suggest it because you're going to get more longevity with the eyeshadow or the pressed glitter or whatever it may be, but I don't find that when I don't use a glitter glue with this, it falls out all over my face. I don't find these to be too silicone-y or gel-like. I find them to be a little bit drier of a formula, but they still go on super smooth and opaque and not patchy. Love Potion has really impressed me as far as the formula and the color goes, of course, but I'm gonna have to try some more from her because I really find these to be very user-friendly, which is very rare for pressed glitter. Pressed glitters are not user-friendly. Pressed glitters are basically Fallout City, and I don't find Love Spell to be at all. So now we're getting into just the basic pressed shimmer eyeshadows here, and this is the shade Love Spell. This is probably my third favorite item that I've ever tried from Enchanted Lustre. This is an iridescent baby pink. These regular pressed eyeshadows aren't super overly metallic. They're a little bit more satiny, but they still have a really nice sheen to them, and they go on the eyes beautifully. They are super, super smooth, super creamy, super buttery. Everything you would want in a satiny, shimmery type of eyeshadow, and Lord knows I love me this type of color. So the next eyeshadow that I have here is actually an unreleased shade, which is called Harajuku. She sent me this in my most recent purchase because she thought I would like it. She knows I love me some pink eyeshadow. I think everyone knows that by now, and I definitely think she sent it to the right person because this is in my top 5 from her out of all the products I've tried. This is such a beautiful pastel lavender with a pinky kind of lilac-y undertone. Now I have a lot of shades that are kind of similar to this one, but the difference between Harajuku and a lot of the other kind of pastel pinky lavenders that I do have is that Harajuku has such a strong lavender undertone. A lot of these types of kind of pastel shades get lost on the eyes once you start to really pack them on and blend them out and whatnot. They can get a little bit, I don't know, dull looking. This shade is very bright without being neon. It's like pastel meets a hint of neon, if that makes sense. I am absolutely obsessed with it. It is stunning. I might have to purchase me a backup here because I am using it all of the time. Harajuku is beautiful, and if you like purples, this is one to add to the collection. Next up, we have another gorgeous pink from her. This is the shade Malibu, and this is a fluorescent pink. One really interesting formula that she has currently available in her line is called a fluorochrome. So it's basically like a soft duochrome type shade that has a fluorescent undertone that isn't too overwhelming. The fluorescent undertone in the fluorochromes are a little bit more subdued, so they make the eyeshadows really colorful but yet still really wearable, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, this is a fluorescent baby pink, and as you can see here in the swatch, I think you can see what I'm trying to describe here as far as the fluorescent undertone goes. It's not super in your face. It's a little bit softer, a little bit more subtle, which I think is so beautiful because not everyone wants a super bright neon eyeshadow. Some people want a little bit softer of a gig here, and I have to say, I really feel like she does a good job mixing together neon colors with a bit more of a wearable undertone, a bit more of a wearable formula, if you will. This is a fluorescent pink, but it's not too in your face, it's not too bright, it's not too crazy, and I really appreciate that because I love me some colorful pastels, and I think that she does colorful pastels absolutely beautifully. So next up we have the shade Sea Lion, which is a soft yellow eyeshadow that has a bit of a pink reflect. I'm about to do something real dumb here. I swear to God, I drop an eyeshadow in every single swatch video that I do. You would think that I would have learned by now. But nonetheless, this is a very subtly duochromatic eyeshadow. As you can see here in the swatch, you can kind of barely see that pink undertone, but in person, you can really see kind of a soft mustard-based eyeshadow that has a pink reflect. The camera wasn't really picking it up too well here, but in person, it just looks like a gorgeous satiny mustard with a slight hint of pink going on when you turn it in certain lights and turn it certain ways. It's a really interesting eyeshadow that I haven't really seen before, and she comes up with beautiful color combos that I really haven't seen before, so it doesn't surprise me that this one exists in her marketplace. So now we have this shade Drake, which is a soft duochromatic orange and pink. I think you're going to be able to see the pink undertone a little bit more here with Drake, but basically Sea Lion is very close to Drake, other than the fact that Drake is obviously orange and Sea Lion is a bit more of kind of like a pale pastel mustard, if you will. But as you can see, Drake is an absolute stunner. It reminds me of summer, it reminds me of creamsicles, it reminds me of creamsicles with a little bit of like strawberries on top. I am absolutely in love with this shade. I don't wear oranges very often, but if I need an orange that has a pink undertone, I have one. It is beautiful, and you can really see that pink undertone come through on the eyes. It is a super unique eyeshadow if you like orange and you need a new orange in your collection and you want something that's a little bit different, has a little bit of a duochromatic thing kind of going on. Drake is your guy. He is absolutely beautiful. You will not be disappointed. Next up, we have the shade Griffin's Roar. Now, a lot of these shadows that are in her collection are based off of dragons, they're based off of mythical creatures, so a lot of the names are really fun and interesting, like Griffin's Roar and Sea Lion, and dragon related names. She even has a dragon palette. But nonetheless, this is a golden orange, and you're gonna see in the swatches that this shade is a little bit more metallic than the rest that I've shown. I don't really know why it's more metallic, but I'm not complaining. It has a little bit of like a micro shimmer going on. This color reminds me of hot sticky buns with caramel all over them. I don't know if you guys have ever had sticky buns before, but they're basically a cinnamon roll that are usually flavored orange, and then they have this gorgeous caramel all over them. They are freaking amazing. This color reminds me of orange sticky buns. I don't know if you guys have had those, but if you have, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They kind of have this ambery orangey hue to them because of the caramel and the orange flavor. They are absolutely amazing, and obviously this eyeshadow is absolutely to die for. I don't know why I always make comparisons between food and makeup. I think it's just because, you know, a girl loves food and a girl loves makeup. So we're making comparisons here. It's bound to happen. It's just bound to happen. The next shade that I have to show you guys is called Wild Berry, and it is described as a golden shimmer swimming in a pool of wild berries. That is Ritu's words, not mine. I cannot take credit for that beautiful description. This is basically a pink kind of golden shifting eyeshadow, and I do have a few in my collection from other brands that are kind of similar, but what really sets Wild Berry apart is the undertone. Wild Berry has a really strong strawberry pink undertone that is very prominent. A lot of the shades that I have that are similar, you know, Max Rose Pigment, I have one from Sydney Grace that's pretty close. Those have a bit more of a mauve undertone, and I really like that Wild Berry has that just basic, straight up strawberry pink base and a golden shift. It's very straightforward, but it's one of my absolute favorites from her. As you can see, this is a very shiny, light reflecting shade. I really think she did a good job on this guy, especially because it's a color that we've kind of seen before, but she's really just perfected the sheen and the shift and the overall base tone of the golden pink eyeshadow. And finally, I feel like I've been talking for years here, the final shade that we have is called Rose Tears, and this is described as a magenta base with a soft violet shimmer. Now, I would say that this is a bit more of a burgundy based eyeshadow. I can definitely see the magenta undertone, but to me, Rose Tears has a bit more of a burgundy kind of deep smoky aspect to it. But in the light, when the eyeshadow really catches the light, you can see that kind of purpley undertone and the magenta undertone as well, but on the eyes it looks just a little bit more burgundy, but it is really beautiful nonetheless. Alright my friends, but we have reached the end of the swatch video. I have swatched every single product that I own from Enchanted Lustre Cosmetics here for you today, and you'll have to let me know what you think about these because I truly feel like her formula is just something that is so unique in the beauty community, and that's what you're going to find with a lot of indie brands. A lot of these indie brands have very unique formulas, but I really just love the colors that she comes out with. I love the different formulas you have to choose from, and she has very quickly and very easily made her way up my ladder of indie brands that I love up to the very top. I absolutely love her products. They have not disappointed me even in the slightest, and I have been very surprised by a lot of them and by how many have made their way into my everyday routine. Celestial Prism, I'm talking to you. But that is going to be wrapping up this swatch video. So like I said, let me know in the comments what you are liking, if you've tried her brand before, if you're interested in trying her products. Let me know how you feel about Enchanted Lustre Cosmetics. But if you enjoyed the video and you are not already subscribed, then I would absolutely love it if you would hit that subscribe button down below. And if you found this video helpful, found it entertaining, enjoyed watching the swatches, and then go ahead and give me a big old thumbs up. It helps out the YouTube channel, it helps out small creators. So if you choose to do so, then I greatly appreciate it. But I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are, and thank you so much for spending your time here today. I hope to see you next time. Bye!